Keep staring at it till DraftKings knocks me out. Nice to have some bankroll again after a long, long losing streak. I've gone back to my old system, and the old system worked. Feels like I'm in one of those melodramatic movies. Let's build up our bankroll, $20 investments, 20 lineups, just like we do it in the big games for the millions and the hundreds of thousands of dollars. We got to perfect our craft in the minor leagues. Because if we get too greedy, guess what happens? That delicious little bankroll disappears. So, Trevor Lawrence, Etienne. My system isn't perfect yet. I still got my ass kicked in the other two games, while the spreadsheet cunts won everything. We are but a small general taking on Grant and Lee at the same time. We must prevail for the good grace of society. Gus the fucking Bus. Another one. Injured all goddamn year. Cha-cha-cha. Devin Duvernay. DeMarcus Robinson. We got these deficits. We got these deficits. Anthony Brown, Huntley, J. Perry. We could skip the backups, go right to Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is what the Ravens D. Came up big against Carolina. Dobbins is on the IR. Let's take a look and see what's going on. I mean, I think he's just been on IR all fucking year. Potentially pretty fucking useless. He's been, from a fantasy perspective. I think I literally took him in like one or two of my best ball lineups. I still got about 10 of those best ball lineups are still strong in the playoff hunt. Or contention, whatever it's called. 150 goddamn lineups, I think 10. 10 are in either first or second place still. This is a fucking frustrating game this year, this fantasy football shit. What's this Jason McCourt? What's going on with this guy? Nothing. He's just a backup kicker. Just making sure. Jaguars D. That could be something, huh? To you for the new Pharaoh's Lounge Kickstarter. We don't feel the need to keep talking and filling the time with empty words because you know, like me, you're just looking at the fucking screen because you're doing the lineups. We got our core here. We got Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Christian Kirk, Gus Edwards. Our top 6 cards. Of course, if we try to squeeze them all in, we end up with a $17,000 debt. We gotta get out of this red. How do we do it? Let's figure it out. Let's go card by card, motherfucker. Flip the cards over. And who's got the winning hand? Lamar Jackson doesn't carry a designation at the Sunday's game in Jacksonville after logging full participation in practices Thursday and Friday. According to Jamison Hendley of ESPN, the hip injury Jackson has been dealing with this week isn't related to the one that previously limited the quarterback's practice activity in Week 7, even though he approached the Ravens game that week without a designation. Jackson threw for a season-low 120 yards and the 23-23 for the win over the Browns. As for his latest hip issue, Jackson said it wasn't something that bothered him during last week's win over the Panthers, and the injury is getting better day by day. The Ravens are hopeful that Jackson will be able to perform better than he did last time he managed a hip injury week 7, though we'll have to make do with Jacksonville without starting left tackle Ronnie Stanley, who's been ruled out for Sunday's game. Patrick McCarry will be protecting Jackson's blindside in Stanley's stead. I mean, look, playing shitty, he still puts up double fucking digits. You can't ignore Lamar. Mr. Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews brought in 6 of 8 targets for 63 yards in the Ravens win over the Panthers on Sunday. The veteran tight end returned from one game absence and finished second in receptions, receiving yards, and targets on the afternoon for the Ravens. Andrews now has at least Sunday's reception and yardage totals in 3 of his past 4 injury-shortened games, sending him to a Week 12 road matchup against the Jaguars with some momentum. All right. And good old Trevor. Lawrence completed 29 of 40 passes for 259 yards with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, and added 4 rushes for 26 yards in the Jaguars' loss to the Chiefs on Sunday. Lawrence took 5 sacks overall, but he still found a way to a very productive fantasy day overall that included a pair of touchdown passes to Christian Kirk. The second-year caller's first time since Week 4 with multiple scoring tosses, while his yardage total qualified as the second highest over the last 4 games. Lawrence will have a chance to continue honing his already solid chemistry with the likes of Kirk, Zay Jones, and Marvin Jones during the Week 11 bye ahead of a Week 12 home matchup against the Ravens. Travis Etienne Jr. Etienne rushed 11 times for 45 yards, secured all 3 targets at 28 yards in the Jaguars' loss to the Chiefs on Sunday. Etienne took all but one of the league's Jaguars running back carries in the afternoon, but as the final workload implies, he clearly was limited by game script. The talented second-year back's streak of 3 consecutive 100-yard efforts was snapped with reduced volume, but Etienne naturally retains plenty of fantasy value heading into the Week 11 bye ahead of a Week 12 home matchup against the Ravens. Christian Kirk brought in 9 of 12 targets for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Jaguars' loss to the Chiefs on Sunday. Kirk led the Jaguars in receptions, receiving yards, and targets on the afternoon while also recording both of the team's touchdowns. The talented offseason acquisition secured 3 and 19-yard scoring grabs in the second and fourth quarter, respectively giving him a career-high 7 touchdown receptions in 10 games. Kirk now has at least 7 catches in 3 of his past 4 games, affording him plenty of momentum heading into the Week 11 bye. The Ravens list Edwards as questionable for Sunday's game in Jacksonville. Even though Edwards carries a designation into the weekend, he looks to be on track to put an end to his 2-game absence Sunday. After opening the week as a limited participant in practice Wednesday, Edwards upgraded to full activity on Thursday and Friday. Head coach John Harbaugh acknowledged prior to Friday's session that he's hopeful Edwards will suit up this weekend, though the running back status won't be officially clarified until the Ravens release their inactive list 90 minutes prior to kickoff. If Edwards is cleared to play against the Jaguars, he can settle back and is the Ravens' lead option on the ground. I mean, he gets in there. But if you're comparing all these cards, come on. We're dropping Edwards. And we're dropping Etienne. I mean, you can keep these 4 cards, but then you got to take 2 fucking punts. So now, let's see if there's 2 punts out there. Bottom of the barrel all the way to Mike Davis. Snoop, old news. Nick, old news. Charlie Kolar, inactive a Sunday against the Panthers. Kolar will have to wait at least 1 more week to make his NFL debut. The rookie was activated from IR on November 8th, but head coach John Harbaugh is still working to ramp up the tight end's activity and practice before he plays in a game. Willie Johnson. Nothing for Willie. Nothing for Ridley, it's old news. Benjamin, old news. Seth Williams. Old news for Kevin. Old news, no news for Jalen. No news for Mackay. Nothing on Luke Farrell. Looking for 2 punts. If they ain't out there, we'll have to reconfigure a little. Old news for Manhurts. No news for Tyler. No news for Andy. No news for Dan. Do these reporters just not give a shit about these people? Or excellent, Kim. All right, good. Thank you, Steve. Stop writing to me. Garrett. No news on Garrett. Nothing on Benjamin. What do we got here on Deshaun Jackson? Deshaun, always trying to find his way. Return to practice Wednesday. Jackson won't be listed on the Ravens' Week 12 injury report due to his current status as a practice squad player. He can nonetheless be promoted and get snaps this Sunday in Jacksonville if he proves himself healthy on the practice field this week. He caught one of 2 targets for 16 yards in his lone appearance in Baltimore, logging 11 snaps on the offense's 27-13 win over the Saints in Week 9. Jackson isn't likely to see more than a handful of targets if he plays. That's garbage. Nothing on Tyler Badie. Isn't looking good. Badie. James Prochet failed to secure both of his targets in Sunday's win over the Panthers. Prochet operated as the number 3 wideout Sunday, playing just 25% of Baltimore's offensive snaps. Unfortunately, the 26-year-old could not make the most of his opportunities on a day when the offense struggled to put points on the board. Prochet will be difficult to trust going forward and is likely left out of fantasy lineups when the Ravens visit the Jaguars Week 12. Yikes. Old news on Bateman. But it could be relevant. Let's check it out. Injured reserve. With Bateman out for the season and a Liz Frank foot injury that will be surgically repaired, the Ravens will proceed with a wideout core now led by Devin Duvernay. It also includes Demarcus Robinson, James Prochet, Tylan Wallace, Deshaun Jackson, Benjamin Victor. It's not it mentions their fucking names. Nothing useful. Leo Ricky. Patrick Jean-Luc Ricard. Josh Oliver. Anything? This guy got a touchdown pass, didn't he? Way back in week fucking 3. Old news on Davis. This could be tough. Let's take a look before we settle on anything. See what's going on with Duvernay and Robinson here. Devin Duvernay is questionable for Sunday's game against the Jaguars due to a hamstring injury. Baltimore had included Duvernay on its Week 12 injury report until he showed up Friday after being limited in practice due to a hamstring issue. It's unclear if the injury was something he brought into Friday or if he suffered the injury during practice and exited early as a result. Whatever the case, the Ravens will offer more clarity on his status with the release of the inactive list 90 minutes prior to kickoff. Duvernay has been the Ravens' number 1 wideout in the name, while Rashad Bateman has been sidelined with a season-ending injury for the past 2 games. And he's drawn 2 combined targets in those contests despite playing 78% of the snaps on offense. Wow, so he's done shit. Then the Marcus is banged up. This might be worth going after 2 fucking receivers. Robinson is listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Jaguars. After sitting out practice Thursday, Robinson logged a full session Friday, which has him trending in the right direction ahead of the weekend's contest. That said, the wideout's injury designation makes his status worth confirming in advance of Sunday's kickoff. Along with Robinson, fellow pass catchers Isaiah Likely and Devin Duvernay were also added to the injury report and are questionable if they're practicing on a limited basis Friday. Robinson is coming off his best game of the season of the Ravens' win over the Panthers last Sunday when he recorded 9 receptions for 128 yards. They didn't say shit about the other guys. What do we got here on Likely? Isaiah Likely is listed as questionable for Sunday's game with the Jaguars as an ankle injury. Likely appears to have suffered the injury on practice Friday when he was listed as limited participant after not being included on the injury report Wednesday and Thursday. Even if the rookie tight end suits up this weekend, he's unlikely to play a major role barring an injury to starter Mark Andrews. Nothing. Not giving you shit here. All right. Question is, do you trade out Trevor Lawrence? That's 21 points you got to replace there. Riley Patterson made one of three field goal attempts and converted both PATs during Sunday's loss to the Chiefs. Patterson recovered a successful onside kick to open the game, but missed kicks wide left from 51 and 41 yards during the second quarter to sour his day. The 23-year-old had missed only one field goal through the first 8 games of the campaign, but he's 3 for 6 across the past 2 games. I don't know, man. Part of me wants to keep fucking Trevor Lawrence. Let's take a look at these depth charts. Justice. I mean, shit, James Prochet is the number 3 guy. Devin Duvernay is banged up. That might be worth a fucking look. I mean, shit, you can go Oliver and fucking Prochet. I say fuck it, man. I say do it. I say do it, and we're doing it. We're fucking doing it. We're fucking doing it. We're doing it and doing it and doing it. Wow. I represent Queen. She was raised out in fucking Brooklyn. All right. We know what we got to do here. Unfortunately, no, unfortunately, we can't. So let's go with James Prochet as our fucking go-to fucking $200 man. Where the fuck is he hiding? With 1,600 left, is Hasty worth a shot here? Jermichael Hasty. One carry for 4 yards and caught one of two targets for -1 yard during Sunday's loss to the Chiefs. The 26-year-old played only 14 of 64 offensive snaps as Travis Etienne continues to dominate the backfield work for Jacksonville. Hasty has 8 carries for 23 yards and 5 receptions for 1 yard since 3 games since he took over as the Jaguars' number 2 tailback after James Robinson was traded to the Jets. He's the number 2. Fucking do it. Goal line runs. See what we do? We keep our core and we fit in where we can fit in. So we lose Edwards. We got to lose Etienne again. We go down to Prochet. Now we got a shot at Justice Hill. Justice Hill rushed 7 times for 30 yards, caught all 3 of his targets for 8 yards in Sunday's win over the Panthers. Hill played 41% of the Ravens' offensive snaps in the contest, while fellow running back Kenyon Drake played 51%. With Gus Edwards sidelined, Hill saw a bump in his usage. However, the 25-year-old will likely see his role diminish when both Edwards and J.K. Dobbins make their way back on the field. Hill will likely be difficult to trust when the Ravens visit the Jaguars in Week 12. But they're not back on the field. So we'll continue this way. Travis Etienne's here, so we can ditch out on Edwards, but unfortunately we can't ditch out on Etienne because he's in the captain's chair. Something we pull out of Lamar, and we stay with Lawrence. We got Tucker, but I'm thinking we use Patterson here. Tucker made both of his field goal attempts in Sunday's win over the Panthers and made his lone extra point attempt. Tucker's impressive season continued Sunday as the veteran was perfect in the contest. Through 10 games, the 33-year-old kicker has made 20 of 22 field goal attempts and 26 of 27 extra point attempts. Even with the Baltimore offense struggling as of late, Tucker remains a reliable fantasy option. The Ravens visit the Jaguars Week 12. But we're going to take Patterson, attach him to his player, and with 1,000 left over, James Prochet. So definitely want to take a look at Jaguars D compared to Riley Patterson. Got to do the comparison. 16, 21, 24, 27, 34, 37, 47, 49, 57, 67, 69 points for Riley Patterson. 8 points for the Jaguars D. 11, 16, 17, 16, 21, 30, 39, 40 and 20 is 50, 60, 66. Riley Patterson just beats them. All right, so we got Kirk here. Get rid of Gus. Get rid of Travis. And again, you could take Isaiah Likely, but they said he's fucked up and he's not even that good. Justice Hill. Gus is banged up. James Prochet. Now we got Gus here, so we can't pull him out. We can pull Etienne. We have Gus here, so we're going to pull Trevor. I keep Kirk. I'm going to toss in Justin Tucker. Well, what do you have? You got 5,400. Is it worth looking at any of these other guys before we settle on Tucker? We got other options. Let's take a look at our other options here. Marvin Jones caught one of 3 targets at 33 yards during Sunday's loss to Kansas City. The 32-year-old played only 69% of Jacksonville's offensive snaps, while Christian Kirk and Zay Jones saw every down rolls and combined for 22 targets. It's the second time in the past 3 games that Jones, Marvin that is, has failed to record more than 1 reception. He enters Jacksonville's Week 11 bye with 28 catches for 346 yards and 1 touchdown through 9 contests. Buck your mother. Dobbins. Old news. Ravens defense, however, coming over 17. Holy shit, what the fuck am I thinking here? Damn. Yeah, dude. Fuck, Ravens D. And James Prochet. Yeah. Yeah, that's the way to go on that one. That's a slaughter fucking stack if I've ever seen one. Kenyon fucking Drake. 10 rushes for 46 yards, brought in 4 targets for 7 yards, and the Ravens win over the Panthers on Sunday. Drake once again handled lead back duties with Gus Edwards sidelined, but the Ravens saw Lamar Jackson pace them in rushing attempts with 11. That led to a relatively quiet performance for Drake, who was also stymied save for a game-long 29-yard run by a Panthers defense that had long been very susceptible to the run in recent games. With Edwards is back in action for a Week 12 road matchup against the Jaguars, Drake will likely fall back into a timeshare with his teammate. I'll keep him because he gets in the end zone. So pull Etienne. Pull Trevor. Again, Ravens D. James Prochet. It's basically essentially the same lineup, but you're just switching out Kenyon Drake for fucking Gus Edwards. Not running them together because they're just going to eat. So one of each other is going to eat their fucking load. Zay Jones brought in 8 of 10 targets for 68 yards, and the Jaguars lost to the Chiefs on Sunday. Jones checked in second along the board to Christian Kirk in receptions, receiving yards, and targets on the afternoon for the Jaguars. The veteran possession receiver has now been a trusted target of Trevor Lawrence's all season, now having logged double-digit looks on 3 occasions in at least 8 in 5 games overall. Jones' fantasy value is capped somewhat by his short area role, but he'll continue to offer plenty of PPR value in a Week 12 home matchup against the Ravens following a Week 11 bye. Well, that likes for everybody. All right, there goes Etienne. And we will pull Lamar. Pull Lamar. Let's give him Riley Patterson. I'm thinking we'll avoid Ravens D here. Maybe double kicker it with Justin Tucker. Let's go for a high-scoring affair. Duvernay, he might play. Or is he? He's doubtful, right? I'll have to run the risk. Drop Etienne. You know what? I'm going to get nuts. I'm going to get nuts here. I'm going to run fucking James Prochet. No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Got to run Duvernay. You might play. I'll lose Trevor Lawrence. So if we ran Tucker, that leaves you with Jamal Agnew. Agnew got 3 of 4 targets for 4 yards, returned 2 kickoff for 72 yards, and returned 1 punt for 19 yards. Agnew received multiple targets the first time since week 4, but he was unable to find any room on the run on the short receptions. He played only 7 offensive snaps and remains a distant number 4 on the depth chart behind Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and Marvin Jones. However, kick returner. When they run one back, you're the only motherfucker who has him. That's what Devin Duvernay did for me once and won me $20,000. So, omens are omens, ladies and gentlemen. DeMarcus is trending to possibly play. You pull Etienne, we still need more money, so we'll pull Trevor. Let's roll Ravens D here. What do we get for Ravens D? We stay up to team 3,000, so again, we'll go with Jamal Agnew. Can we get double kicker, though, if I do it? I don't think so, right? Can't get double kicker, so we'll go Ravens D. And hopefully Agnew runs one back. All right. Evan Ingram caught 3 of 4 targets of 14 yards during Sunday's loss to the Chiefs. Ingram had a 4-yard touchdown catch nullified by a penalty during the third quarter, but otherwise played a minor role in the passing game. The 28-year-old didn't appear significantly bothered by the back injury he suffered last week and played 88% of the offensive snaps. He has only 4 catches for 22 yards over the past 2 games and will enter the Jaguars Week 11 bye with 36 receptions for 352 yards, 1 touchdown on the season. All right, he's worth the captain's chair. We gotta lose Etienne, and we will lose Jackson. Oh, so much money there. So wait, we can get Etienne then. So you just couldn't have. Oh, okay. Well, just lose Lamar then. All right, that works. Back it up with Justice Hill. No Lamar Jackson in that lineup. Scares you to not have Lamar. Ravens D, you need Lamar. So who do you lose? You just lose. Oh, you can't even lose Trevor Lawrence. Only gives you $100 you cunts. So you gotta lose 2 people regardless. God, they're bastards. So Ravens D, he's pulling out of the equation. He's out of the fucking equation. God damn you cunts. Throw Tucker in there, get the points. Ingram, Marvin Jones, none of that works. You already got Kirk in there. So go with Patterson, double kicker it. Son of a biche. Dobbins, that's not happening. So we're going to throw Prochet in there. We're going to give James Prochet a shot. That guy gets in the end zone for a fucking touchdown, it's on. And just lose Etienne. You have Duvernay to back him up. DeMarcus, oh yeah, DeMarcus Robinson's playing. No, we don't even need DeMarcus Robinson. Give me Ravens D. Or DeMarcus Robinson. Ravens D. Ravens D is dominant. They get to the fucking quarterback. All right, Marvin Jones. Who do we got to lose here? Oh, you just lose Etienne. You got it. Lose Etienne for Prochet. You got your lineup, sir. Of course, if Etienne shreds you, you're fucked. But that's the risk we're taking. We're trying to lean on certain core cards. Tucker. You keep Etienne C. We'll keep Etienne in this one. We'll lose Christian Kirk and replace him with James Prochet. Somewhere we got Patterson here. So we're going to drop Mark Andrews and go Justice Hill. We want justice. Jackson's. So what we're going to do is we're literally just going to drop Jackson here and put in Riley Patterson. This essentially becomes a Jaguar stack. Agnew, he's worth a shot. Again, we pull Lamar. Ravens State making a weird, kooky lineup. An unorthodox lineup, if you will. Likely, that's not fucking. Justice Hill's already in there. Here we'll play up another slaughter stack. Lamar. Actually, no, different kind of slaughter stack. We're going to do Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Devin Duvernay. Is there anything left? 21 left. Perfect. Justice. Ooh. Oh, get Justice Hill. Nope. I need a full, yeah. Slaughter stack, baby. No, 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 no. Play it right. Justice Hill. Boom. Then Justice will be the captain of a lineup without Etienne, filled in by Justin Tucker. Bam. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. 20 lineups for your Ravens and Jaguars game. May fate and faith decide your fortune if you should win. Blow your money right here on the new Pharaoh's Lounge Kickstarter. 225 backers strong. Trying to get the 25 grand. Why? Because I have expensive fucking taste. Don't fucking ask any stupid questions. Just buy a goddamn book. Peace, love, war.